You are live.
We're back on What's on Your Mind. 800-228-0550. 701-258-0550. Chuck Schumer just stepped to the podium and is speaking with some other folks behind him on the third day of the Trump impeachment trial. I'm not going to bring it to you. Number one, if I did an instant poll, people would say, no, please, no. We want to stay euphoric. We want to stay positive and optimistic. But mostly, this isn't any news. This is just a way to use the platform to continue his quest to take back the Senate through this impeachment hearing, and we know that, and we've heard it, and that's enough. But we will. Chris Berg will join us at the bottom of the hour. Return to this topic and also more of your calls. If you got a word for us, you can text it in 701-367-2054. What word is just front and center as you watch these impeachment hearings has been our question of the day. You can text Todd too at 701-226-8503. 701-226-8503. What's on Your Mind is brought to you in part by our friends at MyPillow, and I love our listeners. That's not a throwaway line. This is sincere. This is a conversation we have every day. We're family here. We love you. And when we tell you about a product from MyPillow, I think there's probably no better way to say we love you than take a good look at whether this pillow might help you. Because the most important thing to your health is your sleep. Most important thing to your sleep is your pillow. People that toss and turn or swap out pillows. We've had people call before, hey, every night I'm swapping out the pillow 4 or 5 times a night, too hot, get the other one and swap it out later, waking up and not getting into that great sleep until I took your advice and bought a MyPillow. And we say thank you very much. And right now, some great buy one, get one specials with the promo code Scott. You buy the book. We talked to Michael Lindell, the owner, yesterday. You buy the book, and you get a no shipping deal on your entire order. So good day to buy the book. Get some MyPillow towels, MyPillow sheets, the Giza Dream Sheets. Buy one, get one. And you buy the book, no shipping. 800-506-9028. Or go to MyPillow.com, promo code Scott. MyPillow.com, promo code Scott. All right? And that will do the trick for you. Tomorrow is the March for Life in Washington, D.C. How great is that? The biggest march on Washington every single year. 47 years in a row. They've been doing this. 47 years in a row. For the first time ever, a president of the United States will address that group live and in person. That'll be Donald Trump tomorrow on the Mall, elevating the March for Life to, I think, new heights where it should be. Now, tomorrow in Fargo, there's a different kind of event. Planned Parenthood is sponsoring this, the number one abortion provider in the United States. They make their money, lion's share of their money on abortions. They have a keynote speaker talking about how you should shout your abortion. The goal, obviously, of this group is to loudly proclaim that abortion is normal and good for women, which, of course, is ridiculous. The flyer for the event, which I have in front of me, says, choice desserts. Oh, how creative. Abortion is normal. Avalon Event Center, Friday, January 24th. 7 to 10 p.m. Wow. For that reason, and for the more important reason that the March for Life is here, I thought it'd be interesting for you to hear personal stories about abortion from 3 women who join us today in studio, and they include Denise Cota. Denise, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great.
Kay Kiefer. Hello, Kay.
Good morning.
And Terry Melby.
Hi, Scott.
Good morning, Terry. Let me start, Denise, with you. Is abortion normal?
No, it's not. It's very detrimental to women, can cause a lot of things I think a lot of people don't talk about until they have kind of hit rock bottom. I see things like this event that's coming up, and it makes me sad that there's women out there that have had abortions that feel like it should be normalized, because feel like their whole life has probably not been real normal since having an abortion.
How are you able to say abortion is not normal, and that the list of things you just told us a little bit about that will follow would be a part of a woman's life after abortion?
I was 17 when I had my first abortion. I was 18 when I had a second. The first one really sent me into a tailspin, and I believe that with that first one was directly linked to why I had a second. After that, my life kind of really spiraled out of control. Lots of emotional problems that I suffered with for a long time. Had people tell me that it had nothing to do with having had an abortion, and it really took a lot of years for me to really realize that without some sort of healing, without some sort of really acknowledgement of what it had done to my life, that there was never going to be a resolution to the hurt and the anger, and really it kind of affected every portion of my life.
Okay, how about you? Is abortion normal? This event tomorrow, inviting women to come celebrate their abortions?
No.
What does that make you feel?
It really does make me sad, as Denise said. I too, when I was 19, made the decision to have an abortion, and I made that decision thinking I could kind of push the reset button on my life and that everything would go back to normal, and that no one would ever have to know. Unfortunately, the thing I didn't realize was that I could never forget what I had done. And that, for me as well, started a long course of some dysfunctional behavior, emotional issues, relationship issues, a whole manner of dysfunction in my life, and honestly a lot of fear and regret and shame, and didn't talk about my abortion for 20 years. Sat there looking around me at other women, thinking that surely nobody else had done what I had done, and just wishing with all that was in me that I could go back and redo it, but I couldn't do that.
At what point did you say, okay, it's been 20 years, and now I'm connecting the dots to the reason I'm feeling some of these things, the relationships, whatever, the pain I feel in my life goes back to that? At what point?
Well, I really think it was an intervention from God. It got to the point that I was actually seeing a counselor, and she wouldn't leave the abortion alone. And I kind of irritated me, to be really honest with you, but she was a very good counselor. And she made a statement one day that just hit me between the eyes, and I realized that was it, and I needed to deal with it.
Let's turn to Terry. Melby, Terry, first of all, the whole abortion is normal thing. You see something like that, you see an event like that, people celebrating it. You've lived what you've lived with it. How does it make you feel?
Oh, it's just, it is so sad. It's a lie, really. I mean, I tried to believe it, that it was just a mass of tissue, a product of conception, we used to call it in those days. And I had said I would never have an abortion, but I was very pro-choice at the time. I was 27 years old with 2 daughters, a single mom. And I said I would never have an abortion, but when my support system wasn't there, I was back in school and I had no money, and I thought, what other choice do I have? And I went ahead with it. Just the worst mistake in the world. I mean, I knew immediately, Scott.
You did?
I knew immediately while it was being done that my baby was dying. I did. And I think probably most women do at some point in there. The denial creeps in and the memories are blocked, but the trauma is there. And that trauma is what causes all these things that Denise and Kay have spoken about so much, the trauma that lives on in other ways, the self-destructive behaviors in our lives.
And it's always there.
It's always there.
From that moment you said, I'm doing this now, and I'm now realizing I shouldn't have done it, and now I'm leaving here, and 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, always in the back of your mind.
Oh, yeah, and I thought I would never, ever be able to be forgiven. I thought I was the worst mother in the world. I was very suicidal.
So would we wish that on any woman?
No.
Would we want a woman to have that choice, to be able to, end the life of a baby, number one, which, we can set aside for a moment of saying, that's horrific. But number two, what are they dealing with as a result of that? That's what we are allowing women we care for, we love to be able to do legally in the United States of America. And this is a topic I don't think that gets anywhere near enough attention in this whole debate, because it's much bigger than just the question of right or wrong on the baby. That, to me, is obvious, but the pain it inflicts on the mother is something that doesn't get discussed enough. More after this.
Ethanol is important to agriculture and all of
I got the bumper, buddy, so just count me down.
Sounds good.
What's on your mind? Brought to you in part by our friends at H.A. Thompson & Sons. If you're looking at that bottom line in 2020 and saying, where can I find a little edge? I need to find a way to just get a little more certainty there. H.A. Thompson & Sons, for 1,000 different facilities around the upper Midwest, is providing cost-effective environmental maintenance agreements. So, the boiler, the furnace, the air conditioning units, in some cases for some big-name companies, they're doing, part of their whole mechanical assembly line and maintaining it. And that started with, doing the HVAC. The point is they take the out of it, right? And just say, one price, we'll maintain it. If it breaks down, we'll fix it. You've got your solid price, and you got somebody else worrying about a key component of what could impact your bottom line. So it helps a lot. The people I hear from say, you aren't kidding. That gave me just what I was looking for in that edge on the bottom line. They've been doing this a long, long time, over 100 years old. H.A. Thompson and Sons. Find out more at hatandsons.com. Back with our conversation with Kay Kiefer, Denise Cota, Terry Melby, three women sharing very personal stories about abortion. The March for Life, the anniversary of Roe versus Wade, is tomorrow in Washington, D.C., the biggest march on Washington. The best thing about it, I've been there many times. I love every minute of it. And what I love most is it is full of young people. Full of young people. This is a young person's movement now, saying, hey, we don't want to be aborted. We want to live. There's a purpose for us. And today, these three women have done a brave thing and done it in other places as well in telling their story. Question for you, ladies, from Bev. What's on your mind, Bev? Go ahead.
At the time I had married, she had an 18-month-old baby, came to me and asked me if I would.
Bev, hang on one second here, because I can just get bits and pieces of that.
Connection's pretty bad.
You want to see what you can do there, Daniel?
Yeah, I'll see.
What I want to ask you while we're waiting for Bev, Kay, Terry, Denise, from each of your perspectives. Kay, you mentioned me 20 years before you said anything about your abortion. So you go 20 years, and you're not telling anybody. You're living with us. You're internalizing this. All these things happen. There's people listening in the same boat. What advice do you have for them?
Oh, my heart just goes out because I know that there are women right now sitting in their homes, in their cars, listening to us, and they have this same experience. They had an abortion. They thought it was going to fix their problems, and they can't get rid of it. It's a constant thought on their mind. They're fearful that somebody's going to find out. They're concerned. They feel that God can't forgive them. They feel that they're unforgivable, and they absolutely do not know who to talk to.
But there is help.
There's absolutely help. We actually, all of us are involved in a local Bible study called Forgiven and Set Free. It's a 12-week study that women can come. It's a safe and very confidential environment where women can come and walk through their abortion experience and deal with the emotions that are have been affecting them.
And how do folks find out more about that if they want to participate in that?
They can send an email to forgivenandsetfree@bethelfc.com.
All right, and there's also Rachel's Vineyard. We've had folks on from that organization over the year. They have these retreats all over.
They do.
And same thing, designed to...
Absolutely. Yeah. They can just go to the rachelsvineyard.org website and find locations and dates.
Let's see now if we can hear Bev a little bit better for our guest. Go ahead, Bev. You're on What's on Your Mind. Are you there, Bev?
Yeah, can you hear me, Scott?
I can hear you better now. Yep, go ahead.
Okay. 30 years ago, my sister, who was 18 and unmarried, and she had an 18-month-old son, came to me and said she was pregnant, couldn't have a baby. And I tried talking her out of it. I would adopt the baby. Nobody would know. But she didn't want to do that. So I agreed to drive her to Planned Parenthood to have the abortion. Now, while I was there, I was holding her 18-month-old son on my lap. And thank God, 3 women got up and left. So I'm hoping that saved 3 babies' lives. However, after it was done for years, I felt like I had assisted in a murder, and it tore me up. And I told my sister, I said, from now on, you better use birth control and not abortion as birth control, because I will never do this again. And I never have been asked by her again to assist in anything like that. But it not only tears up the person who's going through it, but also the person who, I guess you could call assisted by giving a ride or what have you. But my saving grace is the fact that those 3 women got up and left.
Well, yeah, that's pretty good saving grace, Bev. That's a great story that the 3 women in the waiting room say, look at that little baby. I can't do this. So a miracle in and of itself. She used the word murder. And, I know that would send many people into, hysterics to say, hey, it's a blob of cells, whatever reason or excuse they come up with, Terry. But biologically, That's what it is,
It is.
right?
It is.
And it's a mother doing it to a child. It's just not, it just doesn't compute. So, no matter what they tell you, what actually happens is going to stay with you, right?
That's right. We murdered our children. There's no way around it.
Do you find that word too strong, Denise?
Is definitely what we did, and we have to come to terms with that in order to really move forward and really accept the healing that that comes along with that. Until you admit that, I think you're just fooling yourself into thinking that it's anything but that.
What I would ask of anybody who supports abortion is to say, do you really think that what these 3 women went through and what how many other million women went through is okay? That because of this decision to go through the amount of pain and angst and, depression and, all emotional issues, relationship issues, everything else that come back to that's okay? That we're for this? We want this to happen? We support this?
And I think what Bev said too makes a good point, is that we think we're supporting women by saying, I'll help you in whatever way I can, by driving you there or by being with you afterwards. What these women really need is for you to say, how can I help you parent this baby? How can I help you make an adoption plan? What can I do to really help you in a way that's not going to harm you in the future? And it makes people like Bev really second guess things later in their life, and they feel culpable for that as well.
She was a champion. I mean, her sister comes to her, she says, I'll adopt the baby, don't do it, right? I mean, it goes along and helps 3 other mothers see it. So she's a pro-life warrior, even though she's still living with a little bit of that guilt as well. There's no doubt about it. I think the pro-life movement, Kay, has done a fabulous job of being there, just as Denise has said, to say, hey, we understand there are issues that come after, but we're here to help, whether that's clothing or adoption or whatever, right?
Absolutely. I think that sometimes the pro-life movement has been attacked as only caring about the baby. And as someone who's worked on the inside of the pro-life movement, that's just not true.
Love them all. And we do. Mother, child, the works. But there is help. I hope if there's anything that came out of this today, you hear the story, the pain of the 3 people that have been there, done that don't want you to go through that. Terry Melby, Kay Kiefer, Denise Cota, thank you all.
Thank you
for sharing your story. Appreciate it very much. And some resources we learned about today, too. So that's great. Chris Berg from Point of View when we